Yeah. So let's get to this coffee cup thing. And this might have to be the last story of tonight. So what they're saying is the $1,500 SIP, Australia's strict new driving fines for eating, drinking, and vaping. And you will find this story.
Viral quick.
Yeah, you'll find this story in a number of different forms on a number of different websites, and it went absolutely bonkers. I had more than a dozen people send it to me saying, "Hey, have you seen this?" My own wife brought it up with me, and she said, "Oh, can you believe it?" And I said, "No, I don't believe it because I've already researched it because by then I had been working on a video. So I've got a video coming out about this. The actual story here is about AI-generated clickbait that is then being used by AI to fact-check itself. So there is an entire industry, and I'm gonna take yours off the screen, and I'm gonna put mine up because it's better. There we go. So there is an entire industry that makes money from harvesting eyeballs. If they can just get you to click on their link and the ads load, bing, they get paid. Only a few cents or fractions of a cent for each of those ads. But if they can get a mega viral story like this one to go absolute gangbusters, then in no time at all, they've made some really serious coin. Now, there's a couple of things you need to pay attention to immediately here that should ring some alarm bells. Firstly, who's it by?
Michelle. No last name.
Who's Michelle? No last name.
I don't know.
This is consistent. I'm going to be showing a bunch of these details in my video because this is consistent across all of the different versions of this article that you'll see. Also, have a look at the image.
It's AI.
It's a cartoon. It's an AI cartoon that's been generated. So there's no name. This is on a no-name website.
And Aussies don't wear hats like that.
Yeah, there are no links to any authoritative announcements. There are no. So if you Google it, you'll get heaps of results. None of them from any mainstream media outlet. None of them from any bigger kind of an outlet. No announcements from the police minister, the roads minister. Nothing. None of the things that you would go to find a source document. Now, why does this happen? This happens because the people that make money from eyeballs, they will literally go to Google. They will literally, hang on, I hadn't spotted that. Why is his wrapper on the outside of the car? Hang on, can we just get rid of that comment for a second?
Matt.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I hadn't even, you know what? My brain hadn't even noticed that. So
well done.
People who make money from eyeballs are using AI to get ideas for stories. So they'll go to AI and say, hey, listen, coffee's super popular. What would be a viral story, real or fake, about coffee? Right? And it'll spit out 10 different ideas. There's a coffee shortage due to a cyclone. No, not really. You're going to get fined for drinking a coffee in your car. Oh, hello. Now we're ding, ding, ding. We're on a winner. It's coffee. People love coffee. It's cars. People are very protective of their cars. It's traffic fines. People hate traffic fines. We have a winner. So then they don't even write the story. They then go back to AI and say, hey, take this headline. What would the story be? Can you attach it to anything? Can you make it sound reasonable? And they literally get AI to do the heavy lifting. In the case of that article there that we're just showing the picture of, they don't even make a picture for it. They literally get AI to do absolutely everything. Now, here's the kicker. This is going to take me a minute to do because I wasn't set up to do this today. I'm going to remove that one from the studio. I'm going to get you a couple of other images because there's a few other little, okay. So this is a website called Timberbuild or something like that, which carried this story. Sorry, G-Man, I've got to get rid of your comment there. Notice on the bottom left of the image I put up, that little hovering, floating button that says free gift. Okay. Now, it's going to take me a minute to do, but I've got to remove that one out of the studio. I'm going to get you a different one. So remember, that one said free gift.
That's a Temu thing.
Over here, this one, exact same story. Same little floaty thing in a different color that says, try your luck, click and win. Now, this one, I guarantee you, this website here called Dabble was put up by the same person that put up Timberbuild. They've used the same template that has the same pop-ups. They're pointing in different directions. They've got different kinds of affiliates, but literally someone has had AI generate a viral story for them, and then they are plastering it up over multiple different sources. Now what happens, and I regret this because I didn't get the screenshot when I should have. When I first started my research, I typed into Google. That's where I start. I'll use other search engines as well, but Google is my starting point. And I go, okay, can you get fined for drinking a coffee in Australia? whilst driving. And it said, yes, you can. And it told me how much the fine was and blah, blah, blah in the AI overview.
Yeah,
you know how
Gemini.
AI overview thing. It told me that straight away. And I went, oh, gosh, how have I not heard about this until that's the sort of thing this is literally what I do. Like I keep up with this stuff. How is this blindsided me? And so then I went and did other research and I discovered actually, no, that AI overview had grabbed misinformation from AI generated clickbait stories. Then I went back this afternoon as I was writing my script to get that screenshot of the AI overview getting it wrong. And the AI overview was different. It now says, yes, you can, but not because you're drinking a coffee, only if you lose control of your car, right? If you fail to exercise control over your car, which is actually the correct answer. So I missed that screenshot, unfortunately, but that would have absolutely sort of proved my point, how this is now the snake eating its own tail. This is AI feeding you information based on what it found on websites that were written by AI for the purpose of clickbait and click harvesting. This is going to become a huge problem going forward. So I've got a video in the works literally about this particular case study to say, hey guys, there are some things you need to look for. If the website you're going to is just about ads and weight loss pills and everything else, if it's got all the floaty little clicks and click here and win and we've got a free gift for you and all that kind of nonsense, if the person's name is just their first name, if it's not a dated article and it doesn't have links to any actual sources, any reputable, if the BBC was writing an article about this, that have a link back to the ministerial release, that have a link back to a bunch of other kind of information that you could then go back and find actual sources for. If there's none of that there, then you should be taking an enormous grain of salt.
Yeah, that's good you picked that up because I just saw it and I've been busy writing all day. So I was trying not to look at social media and I saw that and I was like, what the hell? That's outrageous. But on the AI thing, there's a couple of things here. Like recently last week, Deloitte came under fire because they delivered a proposal or a document to the government that had hallucinated citations in it. Now, this is something massive in the university industry, right? AI, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when we say AI hallucinates, and this is where I'll go super deep into my research, but AI is built on data sets, right? So it's learning from what already exists. AI doesn't have an imagination. It can't create content. It literally just pulls data from what it has. And so Deloitte, they're a legal firm, Deloitte, or are they accounting? I forget.
I thought they were accounting, like a business management, high-level business consultant.
They're basically consultants.
I thought they were on the price, in that what's the other big one? All those guys, Yeah.
Okay. So Deloitte are the government's go-to supplier for a lot of big consultations around, accounting, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and they got paid over $300,000 for this consultation. And they delivered a report where the citations, which is references to other academic articles or studies, were incorrect. Now that is the biggest faux pas you can commit, right? And so I tried this out because obviously I'm studying AI and also using AI. So I need to make sure I'm checking everything and I'm cross-referencing. So for the sake of pointing it out here, I use ChatGPT, I use Grok, I use Perplexity and Gemini, and I go across all four. So if I'm writing something, I then check it, I then go and find the article, and then I use Control F to make sure I'm finding the actual quote and it's actually in the article and I'm looking at it with my eyeballs. Because this has happened to me repeatedly. I will give ChatGPT a 60-page document, right? There's no way in hell I'm sitting there reading that whole thing. It's full of pompous waffle. So I get AI to read through it, tell me firstly, is it applicable to what I'm doing? And is there anything in there that's worth focusing on? And then it tells me the page numbers. Now, often it's spat out quotes and I'm like, wow, that's a really good quote. That's exactly what I need. I'm like, what page is that on? And they're like, oh, it's on this page. And I go and I can't find it, right? So then I try and Control F to find it. It's not there. And I realize it's not only paraphrasing. It's paraphrasing. It's creating content to supplement what I need it to. It's filling in a dot or a gap that's there. And so that's when it's hallucinating. It's basically going off our content and our exchanging the conversation going, oh, well, this will fit really well here. And it's not actually real.
Yeah.
So the fact that Deloitte were
Mm-hmm.
uncovered for that, and there was also a massive legal issue that went viral in the legal community. Same thing. The citations were hallucinated by AIs, but obviously in legal matters.
They were submitted into court. There was I remember this crossed my desk. There was a court case where they submitted evidence that was based on AI hallucinations. Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously huge issue with that. So, anyone who understands law, when they reference precedent, cases that have happened where, they can build their case on.
Yeah.
They're citing things that weren't actually happening. And this was all tabled in court. So AI is presenting a whole lot of hallucinated content, and I'm getting caught out on it, and I'm studying this, and I'm going, wow, okay, so this is where I'm getting caught. And what my first thing when I saw that whole article about the drinking and the vaping was that there is no way in hell they can implement this technology because AI hallucinates. Even now, in 2025, with the way AI is, even with the new version of Grok and ChatGPT, it cannot count fingers. AI still gets tripped up on fingers, on toes, and little things like that. So imagine if we were using AI cameras to try and manage that, and someone's like scratching their nose or something. There's no AI with the current iteration of it could do that. No way.
Yeah, but we also, just out of matter of principle, we need to be pushing back on this sort of stuff pretty hard. Not that that's happening, but we have just seen the rollout. And the reason I think why that story went so viral is because a lot of people are aware that we do now have AI-enabled cameras that are looking for mobile phones that can they can find you for everything all at once. They can check the seatbelt, check for mobile phone usage, check your speed, check your registration, and just sort of do the whole lot as you drive past at once. And that technology does now exist. It is being rolled out in capital cities in West Australia. They had a grace period that has now ended. So if you were counting on that grace period, maybe stop counting on that because that's over. We are seeing these technologies being rolled out. They're being used in law enforcement, but it's amazing how often these bulletproof technologies, which AI isn't, but there was a case in Victoria, I believe it was, when they rolled out their time over distance cameras on the Hume Freeway heading north out of Melbourne, where a bus driver was sued, or a bus company was not sued, was fined for speeding. And the operator looked at it, was a small operator, they looked at it and went, hang on, my bus isn't capable of that speed. And so they demanded to see the photos, and the police never provided the photos. So it ended up in court, and he got the photos for the first time there in court. And he took the two photos. So this is the photo that we took of your bus at this one, and this is the photo and the timestamp at that one, and the distance is this, so your speed had to have been that, and that's what the fine is based on. And he looked at it, and one of the number plates was one digit different, identical buses. Then one of the number plates was one digit different. And so we presented that to the court, and the whole thing got thrown out. And then there was an investigation to try and figure out what the hell happened. An importer had brought in 3 identical buses from the supplier and had them all registered at once. And so the registrations went one digit apart each. And they both happened to be driving on the same day heading north out of Melbourne. And that's how that problem unfolded.
Well, you've survived another episode and you're still here watching. So at this point, you should probably go and subscribe. And if you don't, you are going to be at the wrath of Spicy Carls. And whilst you're there, empty your pockets. There's a buy us a coffee button, and we'd really appreciate it so that I can show up every day and just make Topher's life an absolute living hell. Much appreciated.